Hello Flosstube friends! I am Lisa and this is my channel Cross by Floss, where I talk about cross stitching and life blabbings. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you, and also welcome, duh. Mr. Odin is here snoring away, so if you hear that in the background, that is him. Hopefully he'll stay asleep and not randomly bark throughout the video. But right now it's his sleepy time because we tried to wear him out a little. Wow, what have I been up to? So last weekend I did a Stitch With Me video and I talked about remote learning. I did a lot of blabbing about remote learning and the generational gap that I am finding with you know, my first three being in school compared to my last one, and now with my granddaughter. And it's been an experience. Anyways, I had some really kind comments about that, and hopefully I answered everybody. I'm pretty sure that I have either hearted, which means that I've read your comment, or I've responded to comments. So but that Stitch With Me was fun because I do a new start, and I'll show you what I started if you didn't watch that Stitch With Me. And other than that, my daughter and I went thrifting. She's looking for some certain things for her house, and so we went thrifting in her area because it's a little different than in my area what gets donated. And so we took the little with us, and let's just say that that's a super fun experience. First off, she was hangry, so why she didn't have a snack, which she's hard because she's gluten dairy free, and so, you know, we either tried to feed her before we leave somewhere, or we've got some sort of plan for snacks. And she's 9, she knows how to pack her own snacks and do her own thing, but for some reason I guess she didn't, and there was nothing in the car for her, so we got a little hangry. And because, you know, we have a don't touch policy, like keep your little fingers to yourself, and that was very hard in these stores because there were toys and bikes and, you know, things like that. And we kept, like, you know, it's dirty and pandemic, and but we have wipes in the car, and so every time we got into the car, you know, we were hand wiping and doing all the things. And so let's just say that she was less than thrilled by the thrifting shopping, but I'm gonna make that girl into a thrifty shopper somehow. So she's gonna have some love of antiques and learning how you get them. So, and I don't know that we actually found anything. I don't think that we actually found anything that we were looking for that day. So, yeah, it was kind of a bust, though I did do a lot of donating, so that was good. And we got to spend time together, which is also very nice. So, what was the other thing that I did? Oh, I painted the shelves for that cabinet back there. As you can see, it's still not painted, but the shelves are top and bottom and have been chalk painted and waxed, and so they are now ready to go. I had to do 3 coats for the top because I really wanted to have a nice rich color. I only did 2 for the bottom, but because nobody's going to see them. And yeah, but it took me some time because even though chalk paint dries really quickly, I don't have the, you know, I was doing it in between breaks with work or evening or whatever. And so, yeah, and there's 4 of them. There's 4 shelves that go into that cabinet. So, but the next step is to get that started. And then I have to clean it, TSP it down and stuff. It's pretty dirty. And yeah. So anyways, that's the next step, and getting that done. And then I'm going to need to do some rearranging because I'm not happy with where that's at. So I did that. And what else did I do? Oh, I was sick. I got sick. Just this silly spring cold. I think, you know, the cold weather that came in, and then some of the rain. And even though I don't go out very often and always wear a mask, you know, the little brings germs from around where she is. And again, not that, you know, they're germy or anything, but still, you know, and just environmental and whatever. And I just think that I was run down. January is a super busy month for us in accounting. And I worked some serious long hours, and thankfully that's all done now. But I just, you know, little sleep and lots going on. And yeah, so there was that. And then I killed a plant, but I bought some new ones. So hopefully that will counteract. And there's kind of a joke in my house that it's a good thing that people are not plants because I would kill them. I don't have the green thumb. My dad had a wonderful green thumb. That man could do things with vegetables and plants, flowers, roses that were just spectacular. And I did not inherit that. So yes, the joke is that thankfully people are not plants because I would kill them. However, I want a nice green, you know, it's good for you. It's good health-wise and, you know, for the earth and all kinds of things. And so, and my daughter is a complete planty, and, and she took all her plants when she left. And so my house is now barren of plants and green goodness. And so, I'm trying to get that my own. So Trader Joe's here has some really lovely plants, and they're fairly cheap. So if I kill them, I'm not out a lot of money, but I'm trying to consider them friends because you can't kill friends, right? So I told the lady at Trader Joe's that, you know, she's like, oh, you're buying some new friends. And I'm like, yes, I am, because you can't kill your friends. Maybe the friendship outgrows itself, and maybe that's why they die. So that's what we're going to say. The friendship, if they happen to pass along, then it's really hard keeping a plant alive, you guys. I'm just going to call it that it's the end of the friendship. They didn't die. It's just the end of the friendship. So yeah, there's that. And I don't know what else. That's pretty much it. And let's get into the stitching, because that's probably why you're here, and what I did. Now, I did work on a couple of projects in between the time that I had, because yeah, I don't know where the hours in my day go. I really don't. Some days I look around and I'm like, how did I not get, like, where did the hours go? I don't know. Okay, project number 1, and these are in no particular order because I can't remember when I do and what I do. So I'm lucky that I remember my name most days. So the first one I worked on is Heart and Hand Wee Witch. And I'm not in love with this pattern, but I'm gonna get it done. So that is where I've gotten to. I am continuing to fill in the pumpkin. I got the face of the pumpkin in, and now I'm just doing the fill in. And is that all I did? I believe so. And it's slow going. Like, even though it's just fill in, oh man, it's so slow. But I did the black in Etoile. So it's a little sparkly, so you see a little sparkle, maybe. This is done on a 16, I believe it's 16 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed myself, with the tutorial that I learned from the Housewives. Oh my goodness. Stitching with a house. Oh my gosh. I'm going to link it below. I'm so bad with names, you guys. Stitching with the Housewives, right? Yeah. Priscilla and Chelsea. I mean, I watch them all the time. Brains are not good. And then last weekend for my Stitch With Me, I started Barrick Samplers 1848 Reproduction Sampler. So this one here, and I love this. The colors in this are so beautiful. I'm doing this in DMCs. And this one I've worked on for 2 days. So I did the Stitch With Me video, and then I worked a little bit on my own after. and that's what I've gotten done. That is going to be the whole size of the design of the pattern. And so I got the border is completely finished, and then I started on one of the flowers and stems for that, and that is in, this is on, let's see here, it's on a 18 count antique white Aida, and it's using the called for DMCs. And I love this system that I'm working on. I know I've mentioned it before in a couple of videos, but Janet Jabber was the one who started these, and I cannot tell you how much and how excited I am. Every time I pull out a new project this year, I've been able to, you know, write on the back when I started it, all the information, and so I'm not having to flip through a book, even though I like the books, but going back and forth and trying to figure out what I did and how much I did, but it's lovely. So then on the back here, see in February, I just made small marks over the day that I did. So this morning I worked on the 28th, February 28th, I worked a little bit more on that design, and then on the 21st was when I started it, and there's a mark on the 21st. So it was a super easy system for me. I printed out a ton of them, cut them out to this size, and then when the project gets done, I'm just going to put them in a little box and write on the front, more on the front, you know, kind of what the design name was. So if I ever had to reference it again, because somebody asked me about it, when eventually I get things finished and potentially up on the wall, if somebody goes, oh, what is that? I'd be able to pull this out and say, oh, this is what it is, and this is what I stitched on. So that was the second one, and I am using the DMC, called for DMCs. She uses NPI silks, which, they're beautiful, but I'm not there. And so yeah. And then the other one that I worked on is my La Di Da Witch. I love this pattern. I love this. And my table skirt is coming along beautifully. So this is my focus piece, and for the year, and or until it gets done. And I'm hoping to have it done well before Halloween. And this one will get done and finished. That is my whole, it's my goal. So anyways, this is what did I work on? Started her elbow, and yep, and the bodice of her, and then we just continue going up, and up here will be her witch's hat and her face. So this is one elbow. I'll work on the other one today. I got some more of her table skirt done, and I love this. I love this. This is done on this is before I started the Janet Jabber system. It is done, I want to say, on a 16 count Aida that I coffee tea and baked. It's either a 16 or an 18. And then I'm using Threadworks floss in the color 11212, I believe. But regardless, I'll have that all linked down below. So that's Witch and by La Di Da. And then I am part of Wipgo 2021, and Jessie Marie on Facebook, the Wipgo 2021 group. Jessie Marie is the creator of that, and Jessie Marie does stuff on Flosstube, and she pulled 2 numbers last month, for the month of February. I'm not entirely sure what numbers they are now because I don't have my calendar. I don't have my calendar in front of me, so I'm not sure. But my first one that I worked on was Margaret Cottam, age 9, from La Di Da. And this is what the original sampler looked like. And as you can see, it's super, you know, it was damaged, you know, from all the years, and it's old. And so it was reproduced, and this is part 1. So it's in 3 parts, this particular pattern. And so I'm working on the top border, and what else am I working on? Let me get it open here. Okay. So this is what I've gotten done so far. And my goals for Wipgo are to use, each one of the projects is getting 10 hours minimum of time in for that month that it is called. And all of my pieces are on the board twice. So I'm doing samplers and sals is what my Wipgo board is called. Wipgo is whatever you make it. And for me, I wanted to put some time into some samplers that I've had, you know, yes, love. And also to do some of the sals that I'm a part of and have never actually done much on. And so luckily for me, each month that so far that she has called numbers, it has been one sal and one sampler. And so this was the sampler of the month. 10 hours at minimum is what I've committed to doing for my pieces. And so that is more than 10 hours that I've put in because, as you may know, I'm a slow stitcher. But I started the top border, and then this is going to be the border for the alphabet. Let me get the pattern here so you can see that too. So you can see that that is the border for the alphabet, and then I started working my way down as well. And the colors in this are absolutely gorgeous. I am using the called for weeks for this, and they're absolutely beautiful colors, all my colors. And yeah, what am I doing this one on? So this one I am doing on 18 count honey from Be Stitch Me Fabrics, 18 count Ada, using the called for weeks. And I started this one on the 9th of February, and I worked on it for 4 days in February. So it's coming along, and I can't wait for it. I secretly, I was really hoping that it would get called again in March so I could continue working on it, but it wasn't. So that's okay because I've got 2 new ones that I'm going to be able to work on. So that was the first Wipgo. Let me put it all away so I don't lose my stuff. Okay, you guys, just as an aside. So I had some floss out on my coffee table here because I'm sorting some flosses and putting them into kits. And Mr. Odin and his slubbery goob got onto my floss. So I just have to always make sure that now I'm putting my stuff away, especially when he's in the room with me. I do love this dog. Okay, the next Wipgo number that she pulled, again, I don't remember what numbers they are, was Ouija, Halloween Ouija from Tiny Modernist. And this is the pattern here. And it is lovely. I am doing this one on 18 count Vintage Country Mocha Ada. And I'm using Anchor Black for all of the black. And then I'm using B5200 for the white, and then there's one more color, kind of a 3371, something like that. Anyways, that or 3379, something like that. I haven't come to that color yet. But that is what I got done. But I have a problem. So you guys see my white, beautiful stitching here. Here. it is 4 stitches over too far this way. This top guy should have been over this little cross here, and I, for some reason, I don't know what I was doing, but here, this needs to be, this border needs to be going down here because it's a box. And so imagine my surprise when I go to start, you know, doing some more of this border to close this up so that this is the top here, this one here. So I did this and I started, you know, closing it up, and I'm like, it's so close. Why is it so close to my white? And there should be some more border. And it took me a minute, and then I realized I was over 4 stitches too far. And so I posted that on Instagram yesterday, and some very helpful people, you know, said, well, why actually don't you just take out the border and move it over? And so, yes, I could do that, which means that I would take all of this, I would have to take this out and move it over 4, move these over, what, 8, right? And then move this over 12. I would have to take this out and then move this as well. So I'm not sure, honestly, counting wise, if that would be a better move, or if I should just take this all out and start it again, because yeah, I'm undecided. I do need to make a decision. I needed to put 10 hours into this one, and after I found my mistake, I don't think I'm gonna make it. So anyway, such sadness yesterday when I found that out. I was so pleased with myself too, you guys. I was so pleased with myself because I was rocking it. Nope, no, I was not. And then, because I needed to start something new, Pinker and Punkin Quilting she has a blog. So if you search Pinker and Punkin Quilting blog in Google, it will come up, and she posts the most beautiful free patterns for you to do. And she posted a couple for March for St. Patty's Day, and the one that I'm doing is called You Are My Lucky Charm. It's that, and it is a freebie chart, so you can go to her blog and find that. And so I just pulled out a very random piece of green dyed Aida that I got from a D-stash page of just random cuts and colors that somebody was posting for not a lot of money. And this was before I was doing a lot of 18 count, I think. And so she had 18 count pieces in there. And so I just wanted to see what they were like and do them maybe colored. I've always used like just a white 18 count Aida, but I had not, when I bought these, done anything in colored at that time. And so I just wanted to see. So I put in the Y and the L. So you, the Y for you, and L for lucky. And I am doing it with this Devil Floss from DMC. What is it called? Is it Dament? Is it Dament Floss? Is that what it's called? Here, yeah. Dament Floss. This is Devil Floss too. It is just as bad as Krennic. I am not a happy camper. I picked it because look at the sparkle in that green. Did I have that backwards? Did you guys see it backwards? No, right. But look, whoops. Look at the sparkle in that floss. It's pretty, it's beautiful, but it splits. It is, I'm gonna persevere because I want this done, and it's gonna be a quick stitch. Like, seriously, this is the whole length, width of the piece, and so yeah, it's small and long, so it'll be a quick stitch. So I'm going to persevere, and I think it'll be really pretty, and I'm gonna probably not get it fully finished, so let's not lie. Unless I can get to the store and maybe find some green fabric that's gonna look really cool with this, and we'll see. But this, I don't know what kind of Aida this is. It's a 14 count for sure, but it is, you know, maybe it's even bigger than that. I don't know. Anyways, it's really coarse, not stiff, coarse. It feels very straw-like. Does that make sense? It's very coarse. Anyways, those are the whips that I've got going on. And then, so let's talk about Wipgo, because that's, March is coming, and Jessie Marie pulled the 2 numbers for March, which are 10 and 24. And 10 is, and they're both again in my trend, a Sal and a Sampler. So this one is, where's the pattern? Number 10 is Linens and Threads 2020 piece, and so I will pull this back out. I am doing this on a 16 or 18 count Aida in antique white or ivory. I don't know. I will link, I'll put the stuff below, because I do have that information, just not in my head again. And I am using Threadworks floss on this one as well, and it is super variegated, as you can see from that. That's what I have done so far. When I first started the Sal back in January, and I was being a real good girl and trying to keep up and didn't. So that's what it looks like, and that's what I've gotten done. I've put it in a Q-snap, and honestly, it's been in a Q-snap for a year now. I loosened it up a little. Hopefully it won't make big problems, but we'll see. Anyways, and it's in one of these big bags, big project bags that I started with Jan's Needle Necessities. Is that what she's called? Jan's Stitchin' Necessities. She is on Facebook, and I'll link her as well. But she was the first person that I bought project bags from, and you send her your fabric and she makes them. Excuse me, sorry. And she did such a beautiful job, and so I had sent her like a couple of years ago when I first started project bags, and so I had sent her a bunch of football fabrics, more specifically Seahawks, but this one has all of the teams in the league, and she did such a beautiful job. Lovely. And then number 24 is a sampler, and it is, I should have pulled it out, I'm sorry. It is called Mary Kemp 1862 by the Scarlet House, and this will be a new start for me. I've had this sampler for a while. It's copyrighted 2020, so I've had it for a year. I probably, you know, when I bought it, probably at market. Was this a market release? Maybe. Not so good with the details, you guys. You don't watch me for details, right? Anywho, she calls for, the model was stitched with 36 count linen from Picture This Plus. And of course I don't do linen. And I don't have any, or I have few. I may have one Picture This Plus fabric in Ada. And and it does not go with this. So I pulled out a couple of fabrics yesterday to see which ones I might like. And I've got a couple of contenders. I've got this 18 count Ada Vanilla Latte by Be Stitch Me. Bad glare, I'm sorry. And then this one, also 18 count by Be Stitch Me, called Peanut. So both of those are pretty good contenders. And then I also have a couple of pieces of 18 count, either in ivory or parchment. And so I'm going to do this in the DMCs. And so I will pull all of them from my stash and see which fabric the colors are going to look the best on. I'm really kind of hoping for Vanilla Latte because I really like this one, but I also think that parchment is also going to be a really good sampler color for this pattern. So stay tuned, because then you'll find out what I chose. So that is it for my whips and starts. And you guys, this is shocking. I know I have no haul. I have no haul. The things that I've gotten or I've bought haven't come yet. I had to stop one of my Floss of the Month clubs because the floss isn't coming. And, which is unfortunate. And so I don't have that coming. Yeah, I haven't been out to the stores. I haven't even bought any like DMC. So I have no haul, you guys. But I do have some giveaways. I have some new giveaways. There's a couple of things that I want to clarify from my last couple of videos. So I talked about the 3x3 Post-it notes as how I get my border on a piece, because I like a 3-inch border. Sometimes a little more, depending on the size of my fabric, and sometimes a little less, depending on the size of my fabric and the pattern, and how in my head I may finish it. So, when that day comes. So so I had a lot of comments about the 3x3, Post-it notes, and brilliant. I did not make that. That was not me. I borrowed that idea from somebody several years ago. I don't know who it was, but they had shared that in a Flosstube video that I watched quite a few years ago. And I thought that that was so super brilliant. And it's just always stayed with me that, you know, get your Post-it note out. And like I said, I always have Post-its because, well, we use Post-its, but the little, I mean, I should have bought stock in 3M, because the little loves a Post-it, and she will take a stack of Post-its and draw pictures and rainbows and doodle and put random numbers on and stick them places. And so, yeah, instead of Band-Aids, I should have, though Band-Aids was still a big thing, but 3M, I should have bought stock in 3M, because we go through a lot of Post-its here. So I always have those, and it was just something that always stuck with me. Somebody who had suggested that a number of years ago. So I just wanted to clarify that was not my idea. I think, you know, we all take bits from people and make them our own. So, and then I also had a question about my R&R craft frame. This is what I use in my Stitch With Me videos because it can sit on my lap. And so this is a one-piece unit. Like, it all comes apart. It's PVC, and it does come apart. And in fact, when you get it, it is apart. But you know, I do this when I take it somewhere, and I can, you know, put it into a bag and folded it up basically like this. But it's super, super easy. It is super easy to put together and use, and it's very sturdy. And what I like about this piece is that there are 2 different size frames. So there's this size frame here, as you can see, rectangular, and then there's this size here, which is square. And so no matter how you use it, you know, you can use it and it sits on your lap like this, or you turn it over and it sits on your lap. So it's just nice the way that it's angled and everything. So it is not 2 separate units. It is one whole unit with 2 different sizes. The only complaint that I have, and I guess that this is probably with every Q-snap type thing, is that these grips are very loose now. And so I need to find some sort of additional fabric or felt or something to put in between this and my fabric and the post, because it's gotten so loose that I no longer get the tension that I like. And I like, if I'm going to work in a frame, I like my tension super tight so I can 2-hand stitch. If I'm working in hand, which I will do on smaller pieces, my big pieces, I like to work in something, whether it's a Q-snap or a hoop. I don't use hoops as often, but yeah, so a Q-snap or something like that. I want good tension so that I can 2-hand stitch. So that was just some clarification on this, and I will try and find the link to the Amazon. I'll try and find the link. And I bought this a number of years ago as well. I don't know if you can still get it. It was semi-expensive. Like, I want to say it was, I don't remember, but I want to say it was more than $40. And it came from the UK, I think. So on Amazon. So, yeah, so that I just wanted to make clarification on that. And then just some news. You guys know that Nashville got canceled again this year, unfortunately. It was going to be pushed out into May or May. And they decided, just for, you know, everybody's safety, that they would cancel Nashville this year. And so something else is in its place, and it's called Needlework Expo. And that is an online shopping for stores to buy from the designers. And so they'll go online and it will all be virtual and they'll see things. But there is a hashtag on Instagram, and you can actually go and see what the designers have put for, that they were going to have for Nashville, but now for Needlework Expo. And I believe is the way that it is. And so anyways, go have a look on hashtag Needlework. Is it Needlework Expo? Yes, Needlework Expo. And so I think that that's happening like March 6th through the 8th. Or maybe it's the 8th through the 10th. I don't know. Again, dates. But it is in March. And so have a look, and then, you know, if you see anything that you like, let your store know, either your LNS or your online store, let them know that you're interested in those patterns. The designers have really, there's some beautiful, beautiful pieces out there. So, okay, like I said, no stash. How about the giveaways? So I had a couple of shares in my last video, last normal video. One was this pattern, A Little Snow, for a finish that I've done. And then there was this Prairie Schooler bunny. So the winners of these patterns are, let me make sure that I have it right, for Snow, Carol Webster. So Carol, if you will get a hold of me, congratulations. If you'll get a hold of me on my email, which I will have linked down below, but it is crossbyfloss@yahoo. crossbyfloss@yahoo.com. And then the winner of the bunny is Karen Monich. Karen Monich. Karen. I hope you're Karen. Anyways, congratulations, and get a hold of me as well on my email. Again, linked below, but crossbyfloss@yahoo.com. And I will get those sent out in the mail ASAP, because who wouldn't like that bunny before Easter? All right, so I have 2 new shares that I am going to do. I have another Prairie Schooler bunny, and he's got 2, 4, 6, 8 colors in this bunny. He's very cute. I'm just not going to do it. It's not me, but how cute. It is very cute. And I can see it finished, just absolutely lovely. So if you are interested in this share, please be 18. You guys know the rules. Please be 18. Don't say giveaway. You know, subscribe to my channel. And then you're going to use the word rabbit. So R-A-B-B-I-T. Rabbit. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, so if you're interested, and then in my next video, I will, my next normal, regular, numbered video, these kinds of videos that I do, I will have the random generator picker for YouTube, select the winner. And then the next one that I have, now this is a pattern that I finished a while ago. I don't even know if I ever showed this, but I finished this a long, long time ago. And by a long, long time ago, it was probably last year, but that seems to be a long, long time ago to me. But it is this little autumn mill, it's this little Mill Hill kit, and it is from the August Harvest collections, and it's called Mummy. And I did finish it. Now, the thing about this kit is you will get the pattern, you'll get the remaining beads. So the specialty bead is not in there anymore. And I would say that there's probably enough beads. Oh yeah, there's probably enough beads in here for you to do this again. And then the additional floss. Now, the only thing is that on this pattern, I did cross out where I was because I started getting lost. And so I managed to erase most of it. It is done kind of in a gray pencil, like a Crayola pencil. Don't judge me. So you can still see the symbols underneath. But so please, if you're not interested in a pattern, really, I looked at it and I erased most of what I could. There's some, you know, and there's wear marks because I work from the pattern. And so unfolding it, folding it. But I think that you can, I wouldn't give it away if I didn't believe that I couldn't see the pattern. So if you are interested and you don't mind that some of it is marked up, but you should be able to still see it, and you would like this, then let's say Mummy. M-U-M-M-Y. Mummy. So those are my 2 shares. Okay, now let's do, before we call it at the end, let's do Spotlight on a Stitcher. So I have been watching a lot of Flosstube. I've also been binge watching a lot of TV, and I'll talk about that maybe at the end. But I found a she's new to me as a Flosstuber, but she has been a commenter on my videos and Instagram for a very long time, like I believe since I started. And so I was thrilled to find out that she had a Flosstube video. So it is Debbie from Owl and Gator Stitcher. Yes, Owl and Gator Stitcher. In fact, I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read what I wrote. So Debbie lives in Florida, but she has lived all over the world based on her job. And so she is, you know, a couple of years in each location. She's been to some very exotic places, and it's pretty cool to listen to her. And as you know, she's got 4 videos out, and each video she mentions somewhere that she has lived based on a pattern that she is showing. So it's really cool. Yeah, she's delightful. She's been stitching for a long time, like 30 years. And as we know, all of us who've been stitchers in the late 80s, early 90s, what kind of patterns we were able to get, and magazine stitching and kits, you know, from back in the day. And she used to be a monogamous stitcher, but then she fell down the Flosstube community rabbit hole a couple of years ago, and now she is no longer a monogamous stitcher. And has many whips, and they're beautiful. She shows her whips in her videos. Debbie belongs to a ton of Flosstube groups, Facebook groups. She mentioned that because she was a monogamous stitcher until she found Flosstube, in 2020, she made the decision that she was going to join all of these groups on Facebook. And she belongs to a few of the same ones that I do, like Wipgo 2021. I do belong, though I have not done anything, to Semi-Sane Stitchers, and some of the other groups that she belongs to. She is in that magazine, which I should have joined, in the magazine one that is by Carolyn Zook and Robin Birdwatching. Really bad, I'm sorry. I'll link them. But she's also doing No New Starts. She's part of the No New Start group. So, which, you go, girl. I was gonna do that, and then I was like, because Nashville was supposed to happen, right? And I was like, yeah, I can't do that because, and then I did my Wipgo board, and I'm like, oh, I got a lot of new starts on there, and then I've got my Wipgo, my Stitch With Me is where I'm doing new starts. That's not gonna work for me, so. So there's that. She's got beautiful patterns that she shows, a lot of artisy, Hades, Mirabilia's, Brenda Gervais, just all kinds of beautiful. In one of her videos, she showed an Owl Forest embroidery one, Swan Lake. Like, where have I been? Where have I been? I now need to go get that pattern. It's gorgeous. And she's just delightful. The projects that she shows, and a lot of them are very big pieces, and she gets a lot done on them. So, and she's got some crazy goals, like, you know, over 1,000 stitches a month for quite a few of the pieces, because of the groups that she belongs to and the challenges that they have. She gets a lot done on her pieces, and they're beautiful. And then at the end of all of her videos, she talks about books, and because I am a book lover, it is wonderful to hear about some new to me authors that I haven't, you know, heard about, or some new books that I need to put on my reading list, because I like to read before I go to bed. And I got a new Kindle for Christmas. My Kindle was actually for that Pattern Keeper. My daughter and her boyfriend bought that for me for Christmas, and I use my Kindle for reading as well, though I like physical books. I love the smell of paper. I love, you know, opening the book. I like turning the pages. I like a book. I'm the library girl. How I didn't go into as a librarian or something within the library as a career, I don't know, because I love the library, but that was not my path. So anyways, so other than that, I've been watching some shows. I finished Anne with an E, sobbed. So if you have not watched that, it's a wonderful show. If you like Anne of Green Gables, it's another adaptation of that. And I enjoyed it. Sobbed. You guys sobbed. It's a good thing Mr. G is not home, though he's so sweet. He's like, do you need a napkin? Do you need some more Kleenex? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And he's like, why are you crying over the show? And I'm like, it's so sad. Heart of steel, that man has. Heart of steel. So it's a good thing he's not home when I watch all of these Sabi shows. You know, I've watched some other things, and then I got involved in this series in the last couple of weeks called, the actual show is The Durrells in Corfu. And there's 4 seasons. I'm already in season 3. I am 100% hooked. I can't wait to go watch it. You know, the premise is it's British humor and British comedy. Well, not comedy, but British humor. And it's this British family who are English family who are struggling financially in England, and they decide to basically move themselves to Greece and to Corfu, and how they live, and you know, the impact that they're making on their community there, and also the dysfunctionality of this family is hilarious. Like, it is just, but how they love each other and how they support each other and how they get through, you know. And the little boy Jerry, oh my gosh, I just want him. He's adorable. He's got the cutest little like nose wrinkle mannerism. It's a great show. It's like a PBS show. It's on Amazon Prime. Like I said, 4 seasons that I have that are on Prime, and I'm in season 3 and like episode 4 or something right now, and I love it. It is, if you're looking for something, I will say though that I am not stitching as much while I'm watching that show, because I'm so like, I've giggled more over a show in this. Like, it's just, yeah. So anyways, if you're looking for a new series, maybe not to exactly stitch to, but you're looking for something to watch, The Durrells in Corfu. Fabulous show. Okay, you guys, I think that's it. I think that's all I've gotten. Odin slept through the whole thing. Can you believe that? And yeah, crazy. He's a tired puppy. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will be back next weekend for a Stitch With Me. And I've started my kitted up projects. And so I'm hoping within the next week or 2, I will have that finished and uploaded. So maybe you'll see something in there that you like too, because I've got lots. Okay, so that is all I have. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in my next video.